Leicester's Yard. Well, it was funny because I mean, it was literally about 4 months ago that I was here just before lockdown when we opened it. So Leicester's Yard is an adventure playground. It's a place where children can go after school completely free, and they can do what they want in that space. So that can be. We'll give them hammers and nails and saws, and they can build. They can have fires. They can cook. They can prepare food. They can eat. They can just hang around. They can chat. They can destroy. It's completely their space. We're there just to make sure everything's okay and facilitate a few bits and pieces where we can. But after that, it's down to the kids what they do with it. It's an ever evolving space, or sometimes de-evolving, I imagine as well. So, but yeah, it's a place for kids to be kids.
And I think, it reminds me in a way of my sort of childhood, because some of the things I used to do. Now people might think, oh gosh, when they hear you saying, hammer, nails, fire, they might be, ah!
Yeah, well, it's kind of like, it's concentrated, isn't it? It's because all those sort of memories that we have of childhood, they tend to sort of, in our minds, they've coalesced into one very short amount of time, and we picture it all happening at once. But in actual fact, when we were out in the streets playing and building dens, doing different things, it happened over many, many years. What happens at Leicester's Yard is they've got the opportunity to do all that all the time, as and when they want, and that's why it's so popular, because we see like 50 children there every night at least, sometimes more. So it's it does sound very scary, but the way that society has changed, it's I think I've made this anecdote to you guys before as well. I live in a large housing estate, but there's very few children out and about playing in and around it. And that's a shame, and that's to the detriment of the children and their families. So if this kind of provision helps children get out there, it's like I say, it's completely free to access. We would never dream of charging children to enter this place. Then it's only for the benefit.
But there's the rub, really, because as I said, you don't charge for it, which means that the funding has to come from somewhere. And you've had highs and lows in lockdown, haven't you? Because I noticed you had some fantastic news. You got some new wheels at the end of June. Tell us about that.
Huge shout out to Jackson's for that. So they've given us our last van, which we've still got, I might add as well, and it's been brilliant. So a massive thanks to Paragon who got us that. So when we first started out, we didn't have a penny to our names. We just had myself, Chris, and some brilliant trustees on board, and we didn't have anything, but we needed to get out during the school holidays and get to different locations to deliver some open access play stuff to the children. So Paragon came in and they got us this brilliant van that I think we got from Waltons. So huge thanks to Waltons as well, who gave us a discount on it. It was their old van, and we went out and it's done well. It takes a few jump starts these days, so it's on its last legs. So when Jackson said we'd really like to support you, and they offered us this van, then we were like, yes, please. So it starts, which is ace, and it's a dream to drive, and we can fit everything in the back of it. So yeah, and we've got this brilliant logo on the side of it as well. So it's just brilliant, great. So that was a real highlight for us. Out of lockdown, brand new van, ace. The summer holidays are upon us.
Which is wonderful. So you've got the transport, but then unfortunately you had the news, didn't you, that your main sponsor was no longer able to support you.
Yeah. So and again, when we got the van, then Manx Gas jumped on board, and I'm not to say a bad word about Manx Gas because they've supported us. They gave us some funding when we had nothing, and it really got us on our feet. So their legacy is very much cemented with us as far as we're concerned. Unfortunately, due to the COVID crisis, they're not in a position at this moment to be able to support us any longer, which is a real shame. So hence partly why I'm here, really, to put the plea out.
Well, let's think, because actually what this means is there is a fantastic opportunity for people out there to be able to be part of something that is, sort of the youth of our island growing and developing in what has got to be a fabulous way with what you're providing for them. So in what ways are you looking for support? Are you just looking like for one big funder, or are you looking for lots of little sort of donations, or what are you looking for?
Well, just funding in general. I mean, we've got a big hole in our accounts at the moment due to the funding not being there from Manx Gas, unfortunately. So any donation whatsoever. I mean, we've got Playing Out, which is what they were primarily sponsoring, and that sees some like 7,000 children every year, and that's in the space of just 12 weeks. But then we've also got Forest School, which we do with all the island schools if they sign up to it. We're fully booked for next year already. We didn't even put a shout out, but we're already fully subscribed for that. And that, we asked for a donation from the schools, but it doesn't cover itself even close. And then we've got Leicester's Yard, which is currently sponsored by the Manx Lottery Trust, and that's going to be running out in the not too distant future as well. So we need the funding. We're working with 1,000 children every week, and it's not an expense. We're not expensive. Everything that we do, we don't buy computers. We don't have any overheads. All our trustees are amazing. They take care of all the legal and accounting side of us for free, which is just great. So every penny that we get goes straight into the charity and goes straight to helping those children, and giving them the best opportunities possible.
So are you able to sort of plan for the future without knowing whether there's sort of funding in place, or how does it work for you?
Well, we've already planned for the future in terms of, what we're going to be doing, what we're going to be delivering and stuff. And we're still a new charity, so when COVID's come along, it's really sort of pulled the rug from underneath our feet. So financially, we need the support as soon as we possibly can, really, because we regardless of whether we get the funding for the playing out for the holidays, we're going to be out there and delivering it, because we feel we have a responsibility to do that. We've got the demand since lockdown has been exponentially higher than we ever anticipated. We're asking for to give support, not just to give children good experiences, but we're asking to give kids support through the mental distress that they've struggled with and continue to struggle with, and there seems to be a lack of service providers supporting children at this moment in time. And CAMS who are marvellous. I'm sure that they're always stretched, but I imagine that right now they're being stretched more than ever before. So, like I said, the demand is massive. We're being asked to do one-to-one work with kids who have really struggled and support schools. But we're a team of 3, and we're delivering 2 forest school sessions every day. We're opening up Leicester's Yard as well. So, we're stretched, but if people want our help, then we feel obliged to do it.
Oh, it's just the determination is clearly there, and the passion is clearly there, and the enthusiasm is clearly there. We just need some funding for these guys. So if someone's listening and they really want to support you in some way, shape or form, what is the best thing they should do next?
Well, just get in touch with us. We've had some interest from various potential supporters, so they've contacted us through Facebook or through email. So you can contact us. Go onto our Facebook page, which is Isle of Play. Contact us via email, so you can contact me directly, Chris Gregory at isleofplay.im, or it's info@isleofplay.im. Or if you really want to call and have a chat, then feel free to give us a call as well on 306 910.